Imagine waking up to a world with no food, your pantry is empty, and the grocery store shelves have gone bare. The supply trucks are delayed indefinitely, and nothing is coming. Your usual convenience of getting daily or weekly groceries is gone, and you are left wondering how to survive. In this world of uncertainty and fear, where the basics are no longer guaranteed, what will you do? You might never want to imagine a life like that and shrug it off like a nightmare. But the truth is that as winter approaches and global uncertainties threaten the food supply, this scenario can become your reality sooner than you can imagine. When you let this possibility sink in, the real question arises: are you prepared? And if your answer is no, don't worry, you have landed at the right place. In this guide, we are going to walk you through all the essential strategies for stocking up your prepper pantry with long-lasting nutritious foods and other necessities. By following all these guidelines and taking proactive steps, you can make sure that you and your family are well fed and prepared, no matter what challenges arise. First, let's break down the reality of food scarcity. Food scarcity is not just an imaginary situation. It is a reality faced by millions around the world. Many factors such as extreme weather conditions, geopolitical conflicts, economic challenges, and disruptions in the supply chain can contribute to food shortages. For example, weather disasters like floods and droughts can significantly reduce crop yields, while conflicts in major agricultural regions can disturb the export of necessary commodities. Now, if we add the rising costs of fuel and transportation to this, it becomes very clear why food scarcity has become a growing concern. During winter, these challenges are multiplied by certain other factors and the situation worsens. Harsh weather conditions like fog and snow can delay transportation, which can ultimately halt the food supply chain. Moreover, the cold weather stimulates our appetite, which is why the demand for certain staples also increases. Hence, it is important to be prepared for food shortage challenges during the colder climates. One way to survive the potential winter food scarcity is to stock a prepper pantry. But what is a prepper pantry? A prepper pantry is your very own emergency snack stash. In better words, it is a designated storage where you keep all the food you need in the event of disaster, which may keep you from living normally. This pantry typically holds non-perishable food, water, and other essentials meant to help you survive an emergency. You might believe that preparing for catastrophic events can make you seem a little paranoid, but being prepared for every challenge is the most realistic and practical approach. Also, it is simply common sense not to rely on scarce sources. In an uncertain situation, there is only so much you can worry about, and if the food sources are covered, it will reduce your stress levels and provide peace of mind. Here is how you can build a prepper's pantry. Assess your needs. Hoarding excessive resources in the name of preparation would only result in the wastage of food and potential scarcity for others. So, before you start stocking up, you have to evaluate your needs accurately. In this regard, considering the number of people in your home, their dietary regulations, and the duration you are preparing for is very important. Ideally, you should have an ample supply to last you at least 3 months, and then you can gradually expand it to 6 months or more according to the situation and if space and resources allow. Focus on non-perishable foods. While stocking up for your pantry, your main focus should be on non-perishable foods. These items can have a long shelf life and do not require refrigeration, which is why they are ideal for storage. The categories of non-perishable foods include grains and legumes like rice, pasta, oats, quinoa, lentils, and beans. These are very nutritious and easy to store. Plus, you can make a healthy, hearty meal with a little mix and match of these ingredients and some spices. The taste of fresh fruits and vegetables is unmatched, but in emergencies, the canned goods come in handy. Canned vegetables, fruits, meats, and soups are ideal for storage because they can last for years without spoiling. However, you should prefer low-sodium options to maintain a balanced diet while looking for canned stuff. Dried fruits, nuts, seeds, and powdered milk can also serve as excellent sources of nutrition. Staples like flour, sugar, salt, and baking powder should also be a part of the pantry. During stressful times, your favorite comfort foods can help boost your morale. They may not be essential for survival, but can make your meals more tasty and give you a sense of normalcy. And you know what they say? Chocolate makes everything better. So, putting some sweet treats aside for emergencies wouldn't hurt, and they can also help keep your energy levels in check. Store water. Water is essential for all life forms. Apart from keeping up your daily hydration goal, it is also important for sanitation and other purposes. And in an emergency, access to clean drinking water can be limited. Hence, it is important to have ample water storage. It is recommended to store at least a gallon of water per person per day. But if you are aiming to prepare a pantry for 3 months, you cannot possibly store that much water unless, of course, you have an underground water tank. Otherwise, if you have limited space, you should consider investing in a water filter system or water purification tablets. This will ensure that you have clean drinking water at all times. Rotate your stock. You cannot build a prepper pantry, lock it, and leave it there until the need arises. You will have to check up on it, or the rats will, and surviving a rat intrusion would not be any better than surviving a food shortage. Regularly check the expiration dates of the items and rotate them to ensure that nothing goes to waste. Always use the older items first, and don't forget to replace them with fresh stock. Pet food. Don't neglect your pets while stocking up for yourself. They can equally be affected by food scarcity. Therefore, it is important to dedicate a special shelf for your special friends and keep their food stocked up as well. You can opt for convenient options which are easy to store and have long shelf life. Canned or dried pet food can be the best for such purposes. Also, keeping some treats aside can help keep them satisfied. After setting up the pantry, you need to make sure that the stocked food lasts for as long as possible. To maintain the quality and safety of the goods, proper storage conditions are crucial. Some ways to ensure the longevity of the food include cool, dry, and dark place. Heat and light can degrade the color and nutritional value of the food, and moisture will provide just the right environment for bacteria and mold to grow. So, unless you are preparing your pantry for the microorganisms to feast on, you should make it in a cool, dry, and dark place. While making the shelves, make sure that the walls are not damp because they can attract rodents and insects, which will ultimately lead to food spoilage. Airtight containers. Keeping bulk items in airtight containers helps promote their shelf life and keeps them fresh for a longer time. It also prevents any contamination and maintains the freshness of the items by keeping the moisture out. Vacuum sealing. Another way to keep the moisture out is by vacuum sealing. It can prevent from oxidation of food and maintain its flavor. A plus point of keeping the vacuum sealed bags is that they are compact and can be especially helpful if you have limited space in your pantry. Labeling. Imagine you have arranged all staple food containers in a row. The containers are all the same, and you are on a mission to find the rice container. Sure, you can open all of them one by one, but that would take forever, and after all the hassle, you'd probably have no energy left to put them back in the original arrangement. So, to save yourself from the trouble, label everything you put in your pantry. An even better approach is to label the items with their purchase and expiration dates. This will help in easy tracking of the stock. Food might be the most essential for survival, but it is not the only item you will need. So, to make a proper pantry, you should also keep a stock of other essential items like first aid supplies. A major contributor to food scarcity is the disruption in the transportation system, which means that sometimes the trucks carrying medical supplies can also face delays. So, keeping basic first aid supplies in the pantry is important. You should keep a kit containing bandages, painkillers, antiseptics, and an extra supply of prescription medicines if you take any. Hygiene products. After food, hygiene should be your priority. You don't want to catch germs while also thriving to survive. So, to prevent that, soaps, toothpaste, toilet paper, and feminine hygiene products should also be a part of your pantry. Cooking supplies. In a crisis, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. A food scarcity can also be followed by a power outage. If that happens, all that stored food in your pantry would be of no use because you wouldn't be able to cook it, and how long can you survive on just protein bars? Hence, you should also consider having a portable stove, fuel, matches, and manual can opener in your pantry. Warm clothing and blankets. You can also face heating issues in a power outage. Until now, there is no study that proves food alone can keep you from freezing to death. Therefore, you should have an additional supply of warm clothing and blankets. Although a pantry may not be the ideal place to store them, you can dedicate some other cabin in your home for this purpose. Lighting and power. Having a backup power source can save you from so much trouble, so you should invest in a generator or a solar panel system. But these methods can be costly and require much space. A more convenient approach is to keep flashlights, batteries, and candles. In the end, preparing for any food shortage condition is not just about physical survival, it is also about your mental well-being. Knowing that you are well prepared and have a plan can help you stay calm during a crisis. As much as individual preparedness is important, community support can also play a key role in managing a food shortage. If you have knowledge and skills, you should consider joining local community groups to help others understand the importance of being prepared. The groups can also share local resources, which can provide aid to those in need. All in all, it is better to take action today and be prepared for tomorrow. That was it for today's video. Hope you learned something new. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any more tips and tricks for better storage, please share in the comments below. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel, and we will catch you in the next one.